All right, C1x Updates, episode 8, I think. Have done a little bit of work since the last video. Putting widget and graphic ideas. Yeah, so I guess we'll start with the putting widget. That's the easiest one. On the tee of hole 2, this works. So after you land inside circle 1 for the detailed stacks, the next thing is putting. This appearance is obviously not going to be final, but previously this was just saying blank wasn't doing anything. Now we've got a little putting graphic. The disc appearance is going to change. The basket will probably stay the same. But yeah, that's kind of how this is going to look. Mark still works the same, obviously. So yeah, we implemented that, got the data to output the way that I want it to. And then the other thing was the deep stats graphic idea. So I've done quite a bit of work so far, lots of new files on trying to build out how I'm actually going to calculate these deep stats. And more or less what I've come up with is that instead of doing individual stats like calculating C1x putting as a single array, I'm going to do maps. We're going to do it based off of what type of stat I'm tracking. I'll add maps as we go. And then the idea is that I'm just going to pass these maps to the widgets themselves. So long story short, with the basic C1x that's available right now, I calculate all the stats individually to allow some flexibility in terms of how I would display them. Obviously, there's not really any flexibility in the app right now for a user to change it, but each stat is its own thing. Whereas here, I'm more so going to cater the stats to the graphics themselves. And then if I want to add a new graphic, then we'll create a new map to make sure it has all the right information in it. But that's where we're at. The idea is if deep stats is enabled, this view is obviously still going to look the same, but I'll add a little something to let users know it's possible, but we're just going to swipe. And that's how we're going to get to deep stat graphics. This is placeholder. But yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. I don't even know what I've got like an hour, and I was like, well, I might as well do a video. I know I'd made some progress since the last one, but what do I actually want to work on right now? I'm not entirely sure. On round display, round management. I am displaying. I'm actually making the calculations, right? Calling the right value. Up here, I guess. Yeah, here we go. Deep stats calculation. So that's giving me this whole thing. So I'm returning all 3 of these maps as a part of it, which that actually is going to have to change. Right? It's going to have to change. I can create individual maps for the other graphics, but this is probably a fine starting point. Should be. So I could actually start building the calculations out. I could create more graphics. I think I kind of want to build these graphics out. start a video, I have no idea what to do. This is a list of graphic ideas that I think I want to incorporate in this view. So the main ones I'm trying to focus on right now are these three. Maybe that's my starting point. I don't know. This is going to heavily involve ChatGPT, which is not the most exciting, but deep stats management. Yeah, in here. Shot type graphic. And then we're going to have release angle graphic. And then what is the input is all of this stuff. Shot stats, no. This is this shot types map. Excuse me. Does this actually work? Let's just do this. It needs to accept structure as an argument. Will be in this exact form. Wired up. Funny. You can see what this does. Release angle heat map is what we're passing. So let's go to organization. Stat order is this, which is gonna be a little tough. Shot types, organization. So this will be release angle. And then that's going to be our case here, release angle. And then this needs to be a return release angle heat map. Columns, distance bins, or shot types. I don't show shot types at all. Yeah, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with these. Lots of what ifs right now. Because what I probably should do is put this into a structure where just all the information for each shot is compiled nicely together. And then once I have that, then I go through and pull stats. Maybe that makes the most sense. info. What is it? It's going to be this structure, actually. All shot info. Is this what I want to do? Do I need to do this? Because at some point this combined that I'm getting down here is, whoa, is the string of what my detailed data looks like, and it's just one string, so I'm going to have to parse through it anyways. Excuse me. I'm just trying to think of what the best way is to do this, and I don't know. Does it need to be a map? Like, this is a good form for ultimately how I need to pass it to the graphics. But the question is, how do I get it there? And then for my shot type graphic, do I need to factor in release angles? Do I need to factor in shot types into my release angle graphic? How do I want to do that? I don't know. I don't know. We could just make it really robust and just shot types get release angles and flight paths, and release angles get the other two, and they just all have each other. But that just seems very convoluted, and that's why I'm trying to think of a simpler way to do this. I mean, maybe I do just build the maps out like this, and then like we just build them out to be really robust. But then how do I tie stuff together? Because here I'm just counting it. Importantly, what I'm saving is the raw data, so we always have the ability to go back and pull additional information out of it. So maybe really the only question is just what do I want these to include? Maybe right now we just keep them separate. I don't even worry about it. And yeah. All right, so then the release angle one. Didn't even show shot types in it. Oh, but I did put this. Release angles, distance bends. Take this widget. Release angles on one side and different stats on the other. Hits C1 in reg, C2 in reg, penalty rate, etc. Is there anything else I want to throw in there? Birdies, pars, bogeys, execution grades, and distances to pass. Yeah, I like that. All right, we'll get this updated, and we can try that. What is the argument now? Just that. Okay, perfect. So let's go here, here. That's my only arrow. Okay. All right, and then this is called release angle. I kind of like release angle heat map better. So let's use that. Release angles map. There is no columns now. And so here we are just doing the stat data. I guess this is really going to be like 0. Map string dynamic. Map string. How do I pass it? Round display, single round deep calculations. And then we call it deep stats calculation stat data, deep stat display infographic. Stat data is what I'm passing. Map string dynamic. Okay. So that's what it is here. So the widget factory should be getting map string. But that's just, oh no, it is. That's how I specify it. It is a map string. So it's actually returning, if these are map string, this is 3 levels. That's what I'm returning. There's 3 different levels of it. And then what, am I just never, like somewhere this has to be breaking down. How is that only 2 levels there? That's what I don't understand. Just because I'm not specifying it. Okay. Interesting. So let's go here. Let me copy this, and then that's what this needs to be. So now it's map string. This needs to be the same thing. Okay, and then this what? Just needs that. Int isn't related to string because it's not a map. That makes sense. Okay, so then what do I call it? Oh, I guess this is what we call it. Okay. That tracks. Deep stat organization. Do I still need that? I do. Yeah, maybe we just do that. And then we can do the same thing here, and this becomes release angle performance key. Okay, cool. Cool. This still has an error. Oh, and that needs to be updated too. Make sure we're 3-tiered here. Okay, for child build widget, all graphics. And then these are my all graphics. If the graphic doesn't exist, what are we doing? I don't know. Just nothing? I think I had to pass it, didn't I? Title, keys, labels, explanation, yeah. Okay, that's okay. Not important right now. What happens if we reload this? Do things break? What was that? I have no idea what I'm looking at here. I guess organization, we're passing all of these. What happens if I do this? And then can I just do a case? Yeah, that's fine. Or maybe that's what the default does anyways. So what happens if we for all the ones that don't exist yet, we just replace the type. Shot types and release angles are the only ones. I could give them all legitimate types at this point, but whoops, doesn't matter. All right, let's do a reset again. So yeah, still a lot of overflowing here. Okay, definitely less. I don't care about these looking good yet, But it would be nice to at least get rid of all the overflow errors. Maybe I'll have it rebuild this one. Six. No. 5. Cut. What were we here? So we'll receive shot types. It's definitely going to be simpler than what I have currently, which I'm up to try. I did not like the first pass at it. Where were we? Shot type graphic. Yeah, but we're 480 lines of code here. I'm going to guess this is going to be a bit less. Shot type. Cards row. And that's what we pass. I'm not really even sure what I'm looking at here. Why are there 6? Because I passed 6. Is this code assuming an order? Doesn't seem like it, so I think we can probably just grab that guy, and we're going to throw it right here. Okay. Too small to update this to make 2 rows. Let's try that, see if that works better. Only have to replace the build method. Okay. Can be declared inside other classes. Ah, I went too far. There we go. Update. I can't read anything. I see a blue small percentage and right. Okay, so orange. I know I don't have any data, so maybe that's the issue. Okay. Yeah, rewrite. That was good spelling of rewrite. Ignore that. Oh, wait. Yeah, let's not do that. All right. Yeah, we'll see what this is. We are back to a lot of code, but at least the argument passed is simpler, and I do think this will make sense and at least make it intuitive for, I'm sure, when I eventually want to add other graphics. Everything should be fairly independent of everything else. Just remove it. Okay. calling this? Shot card. Sure. Reset. Okay, lots of errors. Shot type, graphic, 150. Reset. See what the new errors are. Oh, you got one. $198. All right, so we get rid of errors. Now I just have overflows on the bottom. Are we updating the whole thing? Or just the top two? No, I'm going for the whole thing. Putting split, correlation, oh, not notes. Now we're doing the whole thing, okay. Works for me. Just let it rewrite it again. Yeah. And then what? How to do individual shots. Because this is something I definitely don't need ChatGPT for. It is great at putting these graphics together, but or at least much faster than I would be. Not gonna worry about it for the moment. Full file. Seems like it. Still overflowing. What is in the center? We've got fairway, C1, C2, compass, misdistribution. Oh, that seems to be what's taking up a lot of space. Overflow on the right and bottom. The misdistribution area is taking up majority of the card instead of large area. Show directional arrows for the most common misses. I don't think that's why text was overflowing horizontally. All right, miss arrows. Miss compass. You know, we're calling it miss arrows now. And we're getting rid of that. Expanded miss area. That's going to be up here. So that's now going to become this. Got rid of overflow on the bottom. This is execution. execution bar plus many stats. So that's going to be this. Yeah, and then mini stat widget. Gotta go find that. That's going to be this. There we go. Cool. I don't even know what most of these are, but yeah, it's not great, but we're kind of getting there. We're kind of getting there. Okay. Might call it there for today. That's a decent step in the right direction. Next up, what to do? What I will probably want to do just for the sake of being able to test this stuff is to go through, actually put together the calculations for this, and then actually score an entire round on the simulator using the deep stats, just so I have a data set to work with. And then that way, when we go look at this stuff, there's actually information there. So those will be next steps. Let's write this down because I'll forget it. Score a full round on the emulator using all deep stats. And then compile calculations for all deep stats. Or no, we'll go implement calculations for all deep stats and store any respective maps. Yeah. Which is going to involve me cleaning this code up a little bit, but that's okay. And then we'll go back to creating and improving graphics. And so then we'll do that for the single round. Obviously, the all stats is going to be different. No swiping on this right now. I do plan to implement it the exact same way that I have the current stats. I think I might limit deep stats in this to like the last 10 rounds, just so calculations don't get crazy. I don't have to worry about all-time stats for that one. I think that makes the most sense. 10 rounds is enough too. I could even go like last 20. I think last 20 will probably be fine. We can test it out. But yeah, so those are next steps. These don't look good, but I kind of like the feel of just dense data. Kind of what we're going for with deep stats. But yeah, we'll call it there for today. So as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.